I've learned a lot of things about how people achieve things, nowadays. So, for example, like, you can look at my life in two different ways. You can look at all of your lives in any way you want to look at it emotionally. So I'll give you one version. By the way, when I spoke to the Sixers, and I gave them a very similar thing I'm going to tell you guys right now, when I was talking to them about the team, about how to look at ourselves and how to look at the things that happen in a game, through the lens of emotionality, and making sure you're looking at them through a positive lens of where am I going? How can I choose the things out of the things that are happening that are correct? The referee got the call wrong. How do I react to that? All those things I was talking about. So one version of my life could be going, he made his first movie at 21. He sold The Sixth Sense at 25 and became the highest selling screenplay writer in the world. His movies have grossed $3 billion. The last movie became number one. I'm one of 3 people in the world that has ever had number ones in 3 different decades. Everything I've ever written since I was your age has been made into a movie. And it just seems so easy, right? That's a version of my life. The other version of my life is I made a movie with my family's money and friends' money, which failed completely at 21. Made another movie for Miramax that's failed completely. I mean, no one saw these movies. I was done. And the reviews were horrible. Everything was terrible. I sold the script to Fox. They fired me immediately as a director. I made a bunch of movies that were really successful, and then I made a bunch of movies that people didn't like, and I've been on the list as worst directors of the year so many times, and saying you're done, you're done, you're done. I made there was a moment where no one would make a movie with me, just recently. No one would make a movie with me, and I decided to go make, and this is another story we could talk about, where I decided to go make a movie by myself and spend my own money and go for it. And let me just tell a little bit about that story a little bit.
I'd love to hear it.
So,
We would.
So there was this moment where everyone was like, he stinks, and we don't believe him in it anymore, right? And no one's calling, no one's accepting, and and I'm in Philly, right? So I don't hang out with them. Our kids don't go to school together. We're not meeting each other on the street. There's no personal connection of any kind. It's always been just based on my work. And so I said, I'm really unhappy too. I was really unhappy in the way I was making movies and all. So I said, you know what? I loved filmmaking. I always dreamed that if I was a professional basketball player, that I would put in my contract that I was allowed to go play street ball. And so I took a loan against my house, and I had an idea, and I just went away and started shooting a movie. I didn't ask anybody's permission. I made it, and I shot the movie. And 6 weeks after I shot the movie, I got nervous because I didn't get paid. Obviously, I didn't get paid. It's been 2 years. I took the mortgage on my house, and as I said, the playing field out there was against me. And I got nervous, and I was like, you know what? I just need to make sure that this is going to get sold. So I went to Los Angeles, and I showed the movie only 6 weeks out. So I just shot it, just had done it, to all the distributors in Hollywood. And we went to a theater, and I showed it to them. Every single one passed. And came back, and I was talking to my agents, and they basically gave me the, I know you worked hard, it didn't work out, you didn't, try, next time we'll try again, kid, sorry. And, maybe we can get some of your money back, I don't know if we can, and that kind of thing. So it's over. It's literally, this is the feeling, right? It's over. Everyone's against me, it's over, the system's against me. I come home, I fly back from Los Angeles, just like numb almost, right? And my daughter is at home, and she had this puzzle, and she'd gotten this puzzle. And I just said, let's just work on the puzzle. So I sat down at the dinner table, and it's a 1,000-piece puzzle. We dumped it out, and we started working on the puzzle, and I'm like trying to find a piece, just one piece. I'm like, this is impossible. This is just, I was literally like, this is impossible. And we're just quietly doing it. And I found one piece, and we put it there. And it took about 15 minutes to find this one piece. And then I went, and something just went click for me, just emotionally click. It went, the reason I'm going to find the next piece is because I know there is a piece in this pile that fits in here, because I know there's a picture here. because the box tells me there's a picture here. So I'm going to keep working at this, and all I need to do is find the next puzzle piece. And one day I will have all the pieces done and the picture will be done. And I went, you know what? I don't know how this is all gonna work out for me, but I'm gonna just find the next piece. And so I went into the editing room and I just made one scene better. That's it. I just sat down and I said, how can I make this one scene better? I was like, oh, you know what? This is a better take. Oh, you know, if I put this sound effect here, that's a little scary. Ooh, if I come in here. And I made that one scene better. And I did that the next day, and 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 the next day. And suddenly I had this feeling about the movie and a vision about the movie. And I kept on going and going until I felt like it was ready. And there was one company that passed that said, I wouldn't mind seeing it when it's done. Okay. And so I finished the entire movie and called them up and said, I finished that movie. I want to show it to you. I want to show it to you in a movie theater, though. So I flew out to Los Angeles, and I showed them the movie in a movie theater with 500 people who went bananas. And they bought it that day. That movie was The Visit, which became the biggest movie, independent movie of that year.